Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome back to this channel. And today we'll be continuing our book that we were reading, uh, Booming Digital Stars, as you can see over here. And we completed the first person, reading about the first person. And today we will be reading about another YouTuber, uh, the great Ashish Chanchalani of Indian YouTube create, whose name is under the one of the best YouTube creators in India. So we'll be reading about him today. So let's begin. Ashish Chanchalani, from inspiring act Ashish Chanchalani, from aspiring actor to one of India's best loved content creators. Young man, make your name worth something. Andrew Carnegie. When one is born with a silver spoon, people expect the favored person to have a comfortable life, flaunt family wealth, and live the high life with parties and luxuries. It is most likely that such a person would choose a road less taken and make a name for himself. But so it was with Ashish Chanchalani, who preferred to disregard inherited comforts to earn his claim to fame by carving a niche through hard work, grit, and determination. Ashish is the scion of an affluent Sindhi business family. However, instead of joining the established family business, he chose a different path. When he started his journey, digital content was not the popular space in India today that it is today. His extended family would tell his parents that by wasting time on digital platforms, Ashish was making the biggest mistake of his life. But instead of listening to others, Ashish preferred to follow the beat of a different drum. Today, Ashish is regarded one of the India's biggest digital entertainers. As of March 2021, over 40 million people follow him on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. He has collaborated with Bollywood stars like Akshay Kumar, Shahid Kapoor, Kartik Aaryan, Rajkumar Rao, and rapper Badshah. He has been associated with the Marvel Studios for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. He also did a cameo in Men in Black International. His long list of awards provides audience validation for his work. In 2018, Ashish was awarded the Dadasaheb Phalke International Film Festival Award for digital for Best Digital Influencer. In 2019, he won the Best Comedy Influencer at the first edition of World Bloggers Awards held at the Cannes Film Festival. In 2020, he won Favorite YouTuber at Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, India. In 2021, he was included in Forbes India's 30 under 30 list. Ashish has attained far greater success than anyone would have dared to suggest when he began. This is his story of creating a brand identity using his individuality as the main tool. The beginning. Ashish was born on 8 December 1993 in Ulhasnagar, a suburb of Mumbai. From childhood, Ashish displayed a mad love for movies, enhanced by the fact that his family has been in the cinema hall business. So he was at liberty to study acting by sitting in the theater watching movies. Ever since he could remember, Ashish had wanted to use his acting skills to entertain people, but he never got an opportunity to perform on stage. The reason was that his teachers always picked the smart and good looking kids to perform. Ashish was both chubby and shy. When he was in class 8, his his social studies teacher caught him mimicking his PT teacher. Ashish was given a warning. However, impressed by Ashish, the teacher offered him the role of a news reporter in a school play. Sadly, Ashish could not relate to the role and disappointed his audience. A few months later, another play was to be performed at the school's annual day. During rehearsal, the student playing the funny Trash King's role was absent, and Ashish called in as his trial replacement. Instead of following the script, Ashish added his own comic flavor to the role, and everybody loved his act. As a result, the absent student was replaced. Ashish performed well and won hearts. From that from that day on, Ashish was a regular in school dramas. When he finished school, Ashish expressed his desire to become an actor. Being associated with the film industry, his father understood the challenges of the industry all too well. He told Ashish, "If you want to become an actor, I won't be stopping you. But this road is long and it is full of struggles. It is full of obstacles. It can disappoint you, it can break you." Not knowing how to react to these blunt truths, Ashish's acting dream died in that moment. Since he was academically bright and had done well in his final board examinations, numerous voices suggested pursue science. He chose civil engineering and entered Datta Meghe College of Engineering, Navi Mumbai. Ashish did not enjoy his engineering subjects and often thought of leaving and moving to his first love, acting. But his father advised him that one should always have an education, no matter what field one was interested in. So Ashish continued with his engineering studies. Simultaneously, he started creating short funny videos on the social media app Vine. From 6-second Vine videos, Ashish moved to making 15-second Instagram videos. He discovered that someone had posted a compilation of his Instagram videos on YouTube. He also got to know that YouTube pays creators when they reach a certain level of viewership. This excited him and he began exploring possibilities. In December 2014, Ashish made his first YouTube video, How to Annoy People who say तू मेरे बाप को जानता नहीं है. The video went viral. At the time, his dream was to have 1 lakh subscribers and earn the YouTube silver play button. No one, at least of all himself, ever imagined that he would become one of the most popular YouTubers in India with millions of followers. There are many valuable lessons to be learned from Ashish Chanchalani's evolution. As a personal brand, a few of them are given here. Create your own identity. For many people, their identity is defined by community, location, family, or job. But a few create such strong self identities that the community, family, and company take pride in them. Ashish is one such person. During the terrible partition of India in 1947, many of the Sindhi community migrated to Ulhasnagar, Mumbai. They came as penniless refugees, having lost everything. One of them was Ashish's grandfather, Asandas Chanchalani. Interested in movies, interested in movies, Ashish's grandfather began his career as a manager at a cinema hall owned by a Parsi gentleman. His employer was greatly impressed by Asan, Asandas' determination and loyalty. When he moved to the USA to live with his daughter, he handed over the theater to Asandas. Sindhis are known for their business sense. With hard work, Asandas turned one theater into two. The business flourished, and the Chanchalani family saw their fortunes grow. Often, children born into a wealthy family are prepared to manage money. This results in a bad decision making and puts the family wealth at risk. To nurture a sense of responsibility in his children, Asandas pulled his sons Anil and Ashok into the business at an early age. Ashish's father, Anil, was a talented artist and wanted to become a painter. However, in order to focus on the family business, he sacrificed his dream. An introverted child, Anil, was bullied as a boy. Ultimately, he learned to fight back and stand up for himself. Ashish says, my father is a very strong personality. Whosoever bullied him actually prepared him for a bigger things in life. In time, Anil Chanchalani developed a larger vision for the family business and expanded it to a chain of theaters. Today, he owns the famous Miraj Ashok Anil Multiplex in Ulhasnagar. It is common in affluent families to be overprotective of the children. This was so with Ashish as well. His family treated him with excessive care and indulgence. Bullies typically target children who are defenseless and vulnerable. Considering Ashish to be something of a baby, some of the children in school began to bully him. He faced other challenges as well because of his family's social status. There were many judgments made about him from those around him. Some of his relatives commented on how he ate, spoke, and dressed. Few considered him incapable of charting his own course in life. Ashish became increasingly frustrated with his situation. He respected his father for having created his own identity beyond the influence of his grandfather. Anil Chanchalani would often tell his son, अपने काम से आपको जो इज्जत मिलती है वो अपने फादर के नाम से नहीं मिलती. Like his father, Ashish too wanted to be known by his work and not by his family tag. The continue, he continues to believe that his if children of affluent families are dependent on the family name and influence, they may open one or two doors, but their individual personality will lose its worth. If left alone without the family buttress, they will find themselves helpless. On the other hand, if a person prepares himself to survive and thrive based on his or her self identity, many doors will open, even without family influence. Ashi says, neither did I want to use my father's name nor his money. I wanted to stand on my own feet. By class 9, Ashish had decided to take control of the situation. He began taking on the bullies. Without the knowledge of his parents, he also learned to cycle at his maternal grandmother's home. He fell many times, but hid his bruises. In time, his parents realized that a life of privilege would not quench their son's fire to achieve something independently. Today, Ashish says, my father has played a big role in what I am today. He appreciated my thoughts and gave me a lot of moral support when I thought I was trying to discover myself. Today, Ashish is one of the most powerful content creators in the digital world. Many youngsters consider him a role model. Top notch brands approach him to endorse their products. Bollywood stars collaborate with him for their film promotions, like Bichandani, Rajkumar Hirani, Ashish Hemrajani, and others. Ashish Chanchalani has become a famous face of the new age Sindhi community. I am grateful to my followers who loved my work and helped me build my identity. Ashish says, design your path with your dedication. James Clear, author of the book Atomic Habits, said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. You don't have to do it all today. Just lay a brick. That's how you build an empire. In the same way, Ashish built his digital content empire by working on small content ideas every day. While in engineering college, Ashish failed one of the subjects in his first year. His dream of becoming an actor was not going anywhere, and his academic downfall caused him great disappointment. He told his father, I don't want to do engineering. Maybe I made a wrong choice. Acting is my passion, and I should have tried to become an actor, not an engineer. His father listened to him patiently, then said, I know you are frustrated. If you want to become an actor, go ahead. I will not stop you. However, you are a fighter. You don't leave things incomplete. So finish your engineering. Life will find a way for you. Ashish felt motivated by his father's words and decided to pursue both his dreams and his studies. A month later, Ashish was scrolling through his Facebook feed and saw a short 6.5-second video of a man called David Lopez. It was a very funny Vine video. Ashish searched for Vine and found that it was a social media app where people could post 6.5-second videos. Immediately, he thought of creating his own Vine videos. Ashish copied his first three video ideas from international viners. Sadly, all of them got tons of negative comments. This brutal experience taught Ashish that he had to stop copying Western ideas and make something Indian. He made his first original Vine video on how girls love Maggi noodles. It was a success. From then, he made other wines with desi flavors. Simultaneously, he joined the college event committee and hosted many events, which helped improve his speaking and acting skills. While in college, Ashish started his YouTube channel, Ashish Chanchalani Vines, using Vines in tribute to the social media app Vine, on which he had begun his journey. After finishing his engineering course, Ashish told his father that he wished to join a professional course to improve his acting skills. While researching acting schools, Ashish found that famous actors like Manoj Bajpayee, Shah Rukh Khan, and Varun Dhawan were all alumni of Barry John Acting Studio. So he decided to go there. However, commuting from Ulhasnagar to the acting school in Andheri was painful. Ashish's day would begin at 5 a.m. to catch the train at 6 a.m. By the time he got home again, it was close to midnight. Though Ashish enjoyed the acting classes, his personal life and health were being adversely affected by this 5-6 hour daily commute. Exhausted, it was difficult to give his 100% at acting classes. He decided to leave the course within a month. Filled with guilt at having wasted his father's money and not completing a course he had insisted on doing, he promised himself that one day he would return the fee money to his father. But in that 1 month of training, Ashish realized that he could improve his acting skills by practicing. So he decided to watch acts of his favorite stars and practice his own. From his childhood, Akshay Kumar has been a role model for Ashish. His transition from action to comedy was amazing. His comic timing is brilliant. I love his persona and admire his journey. He says, Ashish also learned comedy skills by watching Bollywood stars like Govinda and Arshad Varsi. He repeatedly watched Amitabh Bachchan's film to understand his dialogue delivery. He also watched numerous English movies and is a great admirer of South Indian cinema, watching the films in the original languages. Ashish says Bollywood does make great films. However, many of the films made in southern languages such as Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Malayalam are brilliant. They respect cinema and they do not take their audience for granted. I love them for daring to make different movies, their immense talent pool, the dialogues, and the presentation. Taking inspiration from various stars, Ashish continued to practice and make his YouTube videos. Although he was not making any money, he was happy that thousands of people were watching his videos and giving him feedback. Every day, Ashish worked 14 to 18 hours on acting and planning his videos and brushing up on his acting skills. He also took interaction with his audience very seriously. In 2018, Ashish collaborated with Akshay Kumar for the promotion of the film Gold. He says, "It was a dream come true opportunity for me. I was happy to know that his son watches my videos." Ashish also got very emotional when Rajkumar Rao appreciated his work. There was a time when Ashish had been just another guy from Ullasnagar. Today, Bollywood stars follow him on social media and like his videos. Undoubtedly, Ashish has come a long way from being bullied in school playground. Treat others with respect and affection. When you treat others with respect and affection, appreciate and value their work, you build strong relationships and get the best out of them. Since childhood, Ashish's mother, Deepa Chanchalani, had taught him the value of respecting and appreciating others. Now, even Ashish collects a courier at home. He appreciates the courier delivery person's work and unfailingly thanks him. It doesn't matter whether I am a celebrity or the other person is a common man. I have been taught to respect everyone. However, if the person is rude, I can't be good with that person, even if he or she is the biggest celebrity on the planet. Just as his family upbringing, just as his family upbringing taught Ashish that people feel good when they are respected. His own rejections taught him that people feel bad when they are humiliated. During the early days of my career, I appeared for 10 auditions and was rejected in all of them. In nine, in nine of the auditions, I was treated like a human being and was politely told they were looking for someone thinner and more confident. I was overweight and underconfident, so I was fine with those genuine rejections. However, in the 10th rejection, I was treated really harshly. Ashish recalls. The 10th audition was taken by Siddhant Chaturvedi, who played the character of MC Sher in Gully Boy. While Siddhant himself was nice to those auditioning, the girl with him was rude. Ashish says, "I don't like people who consider themselves classy and others worthless." He was not then in a position to say anything to the girl, so he silently digested the insult. But he made up his mind that he would become so skilled in his craft that the casting director of the film would himself offer him a role one day. Then he would tell him that this girl on his team should have treated strugglers as humans. From then on, Ashish stopped going for auditions. Because of his friendly nature, Ashish was able to attract people to support his journey. His cousins Jashan Sirvani and Tanish Sirvani were his initial supporters. Ashish says, "My brothers believed in my vision and stood with me when everyone doubted me." Then Ashish's childhood friend Akash Dudeja, popularly known as Jadu, joined him in the journey. Ashish's college friend Naveen Dudani had always believed in Ashish's talent. He introduced Ashish to many people, including Kunal Chabaria, who did auditions for TV serials and possessed deep knowledge of video creation. He taught Ashish how to execute interesting ideas and helped him improve the quality of his videos. In 2017, Kunal joined Ashish's team. The same year, Ashish met Simran through a fan. Since then, she has been an important character in Ashish's video. As none of his team members were trained actors, Ashish guided them in areas like oration, articulation, presentation, etc. Ashish says, "My team has given me many interesting ideas, which took my content to another level. I am happy that Through our videos, they have also become popular, and many opportunities have opened up for them. Ashish started his YouTube journey in late 2014 and earned nothing for 2 years. He says, it was a quite frustrating period for me. I didn't want to make money from my father, so I kept my bigger ideas on hold and created simple videos through the mobile phone. In the third year, a few thousand rupees started coming every month from YouTube. This amount was min- this amount was minuscule, skewed, but helped me in experimenting with some ideas. He explains. In 2017, Ashish got his first brand deal. Someone from Star Sports called him to ask whether he would like to create an Instagram video for an India versus Pakistan match. Ashish asked what he would get in return. He was offered INR 70,000. In 2016, Ashish had not made that much in the whole year, and now he was earning INR 70,000 for just one video. Deliriously, deliriously happy, he began to dance in his room. When the money came, he said to his mother, Mommy, finally मेरी मेहनत के पैसे आ गए. As a gesture of respect, he gave her the money. Since then, Ashish has received numerous high-value opportunities. Funnily enough, his fanboy moment came when he got the opportunity to collaborate with Marvel Studios. Since childhood, Ashish has been a die-hard fan of Marvel movies. Learning of his love for Marvel movies through his Instagram videos, Marvel India team contacted him to interview the Avengers Infinity War director and cast in Singapore. Ashish was so excited he could not sleep for the next 2 days. Being both an influencer and a Marvel fan, Ashish's interact Ashish's interaction with the Marvel team was one of love and respect. Perhaps the Marvel team was happy with Ashish too. For the next year, he was invited to the red carpet premiere of Avengers Endgame in Los Angeles. Ashish says, at the Los Angeles event, I was more confident than at the Singapore event, and my ability to interact with these stars was much improved. I will always remain thankful to Marvel for giving me these precious moments, opportunities. In this journey to stardom, one thing has remained constant in Ashish, his humility and down to earth attitude. He believes that fame is temporary and ego destroys relationships. For him, the most important thing is the love people give him. Think from your audience's perspective. The most important asset in an influencer's journey is the audience. If the audience stops following an influencer, he or she is quickly back to ground zero. In order to create strong bond with audiences, an influencer must be grateful with them. To be honest with the audience, first and foremost, an influencer must genuinely like his field. As Ashish says, I have loved comedy since childhood. Whenever I opened my mouth, people enjoyed my content, voice, and accent. So I felt my strength lay in making others laugh. Another reason I love comedy is because it is like chocolate. From cake to shake, you can have anything with chocolate. Similar, sorry. Similarly, if you give any message with comedy, similarly, if you give any message with comedy, people lap it up. But even within comedy category, there are various styles. Ashish understands this. His strength lies in skit-based comedy, where he can showcase his acting skills. So he has focused on skits rather than stand-up comedy or the like. YouTube is filled with numerous comedy videos. In such a crowded space, standing out and making a name for yourself is not easy. Ashish says, I never thought of standing out. I just thought of giving my 100%. I put my heart into every video I create. Every YouTuber has a different style in creating content based on their background. Having been born and brought up in Ullasnagar, Ashish's accent and intonation has a touch of the Sindhi language, which adds an attractive element to his performances. The most difficult part of being a comedian is the fact that one has to deliver different content all the time. Ashish says, I look at topics from a fresh perspective. So even if a topic or scenario is common, we try to differentiate our script through our fresh perspective, dialogues, and execution. Over time, audience tastes change, sometimes quite dramatically. So content creators have to keep up themselves updated. Working in Ashish's favor is that he understands millennials well and makes relatable content. He believes in learning what is happening around him and staying connected with his audience. He regularly posts Instagram stories on Instagram and honestly tells his audience what he is going through and what he cannot understand. My audience is my family. They are the ones who constantly support me through their messages and advice. It is really important for a content creator to let the audience know that he is listening to them. As Ashish says, there are so many instances when I have made videos because my audience suggested something to me. He observes everything around him and then delivers his observations with a funny twist. Because Ashish has millions of followers, many brands reach out to him for collaboration. Before accepting any collaboration opportunity, Ashish and his team undertake extensive research on the brand. Then try to understand how many people are using the brand already. From the existing customers, they try to understand the advantages and disadvantages of the brand's product. Sometimes Ashish and his team even use the product. Having satisfied themselves, they check whether the brand will accept the team's content idea. If everything aligns, only then does Ashish move ahead. As a personal policy, he never pushes his audience towards addictions. So he never collaborates with liquor, tobacco, or gambling related brands, even when the offers are lucrative. Interestingly, Ashish's ability to break the fourth wall makes his brand collaborations appealing. The fourth wall refers to the boundary between stage and audience, a gap between fiction and reality. Applying this technique in his videos, Ashish acknowledges that he is taking about a particular brand because it is a paid engagement. Breaking the fourth wall means the audience more interested, makes the audience more interested. Simultaneously, they consider you genuine, Ashish says. On one occasion, we were engaged a couple of influencers for YouTube live sessions. In one of the sessions, the audience felt like they were watching an advertisement, and that video got many dislikes. On the other hand, Ashish broke the fourth wall and told his audience upfront that this brand has supported him and he wanted their support. He asked them to write comments like, Wow, क्या influencer hai, whenever they liked something. People appreciated his genuineness and he got many comments. The engagement was fruitful for the brand. Ashish says, Don't hide, be honest with your audience. People appreciate transparency and authenticity. Build and rebuild your confidence. Creative people are adventurous and exploratory. They see things that others usually do not. To turn their imagination into reality, creative people have to show a lot of confidence. Ashish learned early in life that if he wanted to move ahead in his field, his most important asset would be confidence. As creative people try new things, They have to confront both doubt and rejection. In the face of these, it is easy to lose one's self confidence. It happened to Ashish quite a few times and he had to rebuild his confidence again and again. After dropping out of the course at the Barry John Acting Studio, Ashish joined his family business. He became a victim to a boring routine that made his life mechanical. He was not able to give 100% to his passion, acting, and thus faced great frustration. In 2015, Ashish happened to watch Ranbir Kapoor's film Tamasha. It was about pursuing what you love against the tide of an ordinary life. He cried after watching the film. It inspired him to follow his heart. At the time, he had 2000 followers. He felt that if so many people were watching his content, he must be doing something interesting and the craft should be taken to the next level. He decided to give 100% to his passion. Whether we like it or not, the sad reality of the world is that money is required for relevance. So, though video creation was mentally satisfying, Ashish was not making any money. In 2016, he felt that beyond achieving a certain popularity, nothing was happening on YouTube. He told his father that he wanted to try in Bollywood. Even a small role would help him earn. His father replied, "People are appreciating your work on YouTube. You have an opportunity to become a king in your field. Then why do you want to stand in queues for auditions in Bollywood? The world is changing. Soon, everyone will come towards digital." Ashish remembers, after a few years, I felt that Goddess Saraswati had been sitting on my father's tongue then. Today, I can see the world is moving towards digital, web series, Bollywood, audiences. Everything seems to be gravitating towards digital. Bolstering his confidence, Ashish kept on creating his videos. In 2017, some brand deals happened and money started coming. By 2018, Ashish had become one of India's topmost content creators and was in the news for his rise. He was happy to see people had started liking his work. However, destiny wanted him to learn some new lessons about life. In 2019, Ashish uploaded the video Cricket Gully Gully Ki. Within 6 hours, it had received 50,000 dislikes. Ashish was bewildered and could not understand why people disliked it. His heart was broken. For almost a month, he remained deeply frustrated. To pull himself out of self doubt, he looked at his previous work and the journey. He felt that if he had been able to get this far, he has something in him that his audience liked. To make a comeback, he got back to work, determined to give 1000%. His next video, Student Life, Bollywood versus Reality, performed beyond Ashish's expectation and broke records. By now, the previous video that had got numerous dislikes was getting thousands of likes. Ashish was surprised by this changing wave. While introspecting, he found that before the Cricket Gully Gully Ki video, Ashish had announced he was coming up with an interesting video on cricket. Prior to this, he had never made such announcements. Perhaps the announcement had raised certain expectations for the audience, which were not met. Later, when people watched the same video without expectations, their reaction was different. Interestingly, in the next 2 years, this video received around 45 million views and close to 2 million likes. The number of initial dislikes were suddenly looked minuscule. Minuscule. When you become an influencer along with your work, you are required to also manage any controversies created around you. Back in, two, back in 2013, annoyed that his annoyed that his favorite IPL team was losing to MS Dhoni's side, Ashish tweeted to a friend that MS Dhoni was the most overrated player At the time, Ashish was a college student, and this a casual conversation on social media. In 2020, someone retweeted Ashish's 2013 tweet about MS Dhoni. It went viral and did not go down well with MS Dhoni fans. They began trolling Ashish mercilessly. Ashish deleted his 2013 tweet, but then someone started circulating a screenshot of it. Ashish tried to clarify it by giving examples of his many other tweets written about MS Dhoni, but the hateful messages kept on coming. This incident created a lot of stress for Ashish. Later, his fans defended him. Around the same time, other random controversies started appearing around Ashish. He did not know who was behind all this negativity. Then COVID 19 hit the world. An unprecedented lockdown followed in India. Then came the death of Sushant Singh Rajput, the young film star. The combined effect of all these events increased Ashish's feeling of stress. He lost interest in doing things, giving in to hopelessness and fear. For almost a month, he would cry for hours. He felt that his career was finished. He spiraled into depression. His family and friends tried to motivate him with little success. Unsure of his comeback, Ashish thought to inform his fans through a YouTube live session about his depression and break. Sometimes, when you are in trouble, God speaks to you through signs. Something similar happened with Ashish. Gaur Gopal Das, an Indian spiritual leader, watched Ashish's live video and called him that night. He told Ashish he had watched the video by chance and felt that Ashish was in some deep trouble. Ashish began to cry on the phone, expressing his fears. For the next 3 days, Gaur Gopal Das counseled Ashish and helped him to regain his equilibrium. Ashish says today, I had met Gaur Gopal Das ji at my TEDx talk in 2016. I had taken his blessings at the event. It was very kind of him to remember and call me when I was going through a tough phase. After talking to Gaur Gopal Das, Ashish felt like God was standing with him and he was ready to confront any challenge. After a 3 month break, Ashish returned with a new video, Raksha Bandhan. It crossed millions of views within a few hours and became the number one trending video on YouTube. Since then, Ashish has created many viral videos and acquired millions of new subscribers. In 2021, Ashish's video Sasta Big Boss, parody and office exam or vaccine broke all the viewership records. Ashish says, Gaur Gopal Das ji called me when I was not doing well. Now, when I'm doing well, I keep sending him thank you messages. So, this was the end of the story about our beloved Ashish Chanchalani. So, there is again the conclusion part and the perspective from Ashish Chanchalani, which I will not be reading and would recommend you to buy this book and read them yourself because, you know, it's a great book. So, thank you for joining in.